Welcome to Bullman Built RC. I am Matt, your favorite YouTuber's least favorite YouTuber, and today I'm going to go over my new buggy that I built. It's hot. I would love to bring you guys along a little bit differently, and as it cools down, I have about 3 more buggies to build in my little brain rattling around over here, and I'm going to try to do that at least once. But right now, you're just going to have to settle for pictures because it's so hot outside. It's like 95 outside, which makes it like 110 in here, literally. And so I've got the fan, and I've got a 4-foot fan. You can't hear anything over that other than wah, you know, like whatever. So I had an idea. I wanted to build a suburban buggy, but I wanted to do it my way. And I wanted to do it in a actual tube chassis way and not just a hard body that's modified kind of way. I did have the J Concepts Tux square body, and so I used what I normally use, the hood and the grill. Chopped that off and started building. I got the tubing in the front to actually match the contour of the hood. That's where I started and just went back from there. Now, as I do say back, you can tell that this is pinched in the front, and then it is also pinched in the rear. A couple people have said it kind of looks like a family style Wraith, which I definitely agree, because as I was building it and got it almost done, I was like, that kind of really looks like a Wraith. Not a huge fan of that, but it is what it is, and I like it overall. But now that someone said it looks like a Wraith, I can't get it out of my head. And I don't know what I'm going to do about it, so that is what it is. So we will start with, this is actually made with a RC Fab Tabs little side plate for buggies. After that, everything is tube work. So this is actually the rocker, and then it comes up to the main bar. So after I bent the main bar, I put these on, got the total height, put the crossbars for the rocker connections, I guess, in. Don't know what those are actually called on 1-to-1. If you do know, let me know. The rocker mounts things, whatever, I don't know. So got those together, got the general basic shape. After that, as I always usually try to do, I'll try to make the frame rails first, get everything set with the front shocks and the width and everything, so that way it all kind of jives together. Start making the crossbars, and then just kind of went from there. And you know, you just put braces where you think they're going to need it and all that stuff. We got the shocks mounted. The rear frame rails are more of an angle. I did have them kind of like L-shaped, but that wasn't really working very well, so I cut all that off and redid it. The rear shocks now are straight up and down. They did angle out a little bit because the rear frame rails were so wide, so I cut all of that off. If I would have made them L-shaped again, they would have been so compound cornered that they would have looked weird, I think, and they would have been a complete pain in the ass to build, and I was just not not up for that challenge. It does have a VFD twin, all machine gears all the way through, and it does have the Colorado Adventure Club 6% overdrive lockout. So now I do have front dig and rear as well. If you want to call that burn, that's whatever you want to call it. It does both. It goes, you know what I'm saying? So it can do burnouts or it can do circles. Powering this thing, I have a Holmes 2-in-1 unit. I've seen some bad things about this online. Some people say that they don't like it, yada, yada, yada. I watched Holmes's video. I didn't hook up the white wire because I just don't feel like I'm gonna need that. I like it. I have it in another truck. I've used it a little bit. I haven't actually taken it trailing, but I have messed around with it in the yard, put it through some very slow trial, I guess, and it works great. I don't know what everybody else is having a problem with, but I like them. I have 2 of them now, and I will probably get a couple more because the 2-in-1 is super convenient, and this does 4S, which is what kept me from a lot of the other 2-in-1s. Thank you, John Holmes, for actually listening to people that say, I would like to run 4S. Now, to move forward, I have a Holmes 800, I believe. Yes, SHV 800 in this. I said in another video that G13 Pros are my favorite. This thing is awesome, and it's direct power, and I had it. That's really the reason that it's in here. So putting the Holmes ESC with the Holmes servo really just works pretty well. Speaking of electronics, I do control this with my Noble NV4 Plus Pro. The rear dig is up front, so that actually locks the front wheels, and then the rear wheels go Bernie. And then the front dig is here, so this will lock up, this will lock up the rear wheel, and the front wheel spins freely. I didn't really do anything about this radio, but I freaking love this thing, and I wanted to show you some of the cool features that it has that I use in buggies. This is also how I run my WeRock, so anything with a dual dig is always right here. It's always set up the same, and this is the wheel that it locks up. I do that because it's just easier that way. Lock up the front, lock up the rear, and that's something easy for my brain. Just a little tidbit of information, maybe I can help you. So moving on, past the transmission, I do have bent rear links in this, and then I do have the extended, I think these are JADO links in the rear. I am going to have a set of links made that are a little bit longer, or I may make them, I'm not sure. I could make them at work, I guess, but I'd have to figure that out. And once again, goes down to D44 cased F10s. Now, I know that the transmission has a 6%, and I know that this is underdriven in the rear. So it has, what, 16, 17% overdrive. Moving to the outside of the axles, I do have the Deluxe Heavy Knuckles. They are painted black. They fit the F10s, F9s, AR44s, anything that uses that style. I believe they also fit Element. And they're super heavy, and I knew that with this thing gaining an interior and everything like that, I would need more weight down low. So I went ahead and got those, painted them black, bolted them on. So far it seems good. I don't know the actual ratio because I haven't scaled it out yet because it doesn't have an interior, etc. Moving out from the knuckles, front and rear, I do have these awesome Vision 1.9 Sunbursts. I'll be honest, I was not 100% sure about these wheels before they were mounted. Sometimes wheels just need a tire and a ring and everything to make them really pop, and I think that's what happened whenever I mounted these up. So I have SSD scale hardware and the normal rings that came with the Visions. If you need some 1.9 wheels and you want a little more niche, I guess, than a run-of-the-mill VP or, you know, some sort of Amazon wheel, go check out Bob at Vision. These wheels are freaking killer. They are always so nice. Bob and Krista are some of the nicest freaking people ever. And they are always good to me, and I always will be good to them. I highly recommend Vision wheels. They are just freaking killer. They don't sponsor me. I'm not a, you know, dealer or anything like that. I just will always tell you what I like, why I like it, and why I would pick those. They're good people. They're nice quality wheels. Never had any problems with them. I've got a lot of sets, let's just put it that way, and I freaking love these things. So anywho, they also have locked up hub hardware. These are the Acorn style, I think, also in the grade 8 style. I really like the way the grade 8 kind of pops against the polished aluminum, and I think it's freaking awesome. Once again, SSD hubs up front, and some sort of Amazon thing in the rear because I can never find the SSDs in stock, and I can't find the tool that I have for the pair that I have. So this is what it is. In the tires in the front, I once again have some anti-foams. These are actual Three Brothers anti-foams, and I'm pretty sure they have the tuning rings in the middle and maybe a couple on the outside as well, because this thing is going to get chunky and it's already decently heavy. The rear, I have once again the dual stage. These are, I'm pretty sure these are crawler innovations. Dual stages in the rear. These are mediums, I believe. And then wrapped around the Visions and the foams are some brand new Proline Trepidors. Haven't tested them yet. They're in G8, which normally is not something I try to do around here, but with this truck being heavy enough to actually put pressure on them, I'm hoping that they do well. I do have the deluxes on here. I have the orange ones as well. I don't know if I like the blue ones on here because it doesn't match the blue that is in the stripes, so I may change that. Speaking of the blue stripes, on to the paintwork for the body. This is a bazillion different custom colors, and what's really irritating is I left it for a couple days to dry, bolted the panels on, and then now the tube work is pressing into the paint. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. The paintwork started with a base coat of gold pearl, I believe, then some root beer candy, and that is backed by silver with the root beer candy in the silver and mixed together, and then backed by black. I laid it down as well as I could. It's still a little splotchy. I'm still getting better with my airbrush. Practice makes perfect, they say, and literally I still need more practice. However, I'm getting decent 20 foot, 10 foot away. I can stretch it to maybe 5 if I have the right angle RC stuff. Nothing's perfect yet. I would never paint a body for someone else, but for myself, I'm getting better. I'm okay with it. I was not going to do the blue stripes. The stripes were going to be the cream color of the cage and kind of fade one way or the other. However, the masks that I put on were blue, and when I showed a couple people, my wife really liked it and my members really liked it when I showed them. Speaking of the channel membership, if you become a channel member, you get to see videos a day early, and you get to see behind the scenes stuff, and you get to see things for sale first. Just an FYI, throw that out there. It's like $5 a month. Just, you know, you get to see all sorts of cool stuff, and I try to do as much as I can when I can, and I'm getting better at it, I would assume. I hope. Regardless, it's $5 and I'm trying. So if you want to do that, that would be super appreciated. If not, I understand. That's fine. Anyway, so I went ahead and took white and faded that into this light blue. My second to last color was not as blue as I would like it to be, so the fade gets a little abrupt at this last color, but in the cup, as I was mixing the blue in, it looked like it was changing a lot more than it actually was. So now I have like white, you can kind of see the blue, and then it gets a little more blue, and then it gets a little more blue, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's light blue. It just is what it is. It's paint. I can't really do anything about it. It does have a little bit of shading on it and everything to kind of break it up. So there's some window tint, shadow, black, whatever behind all of the stencils that kind of breaks it up a little bit and lets it lay not so flat on the orangey root beer gold color. The chassis is painted in a waxberry, which is like an 80s GM color that I got online at touchuppaint.com or something. I don't remember. It's where I used to get my paint. Moving inside, so far I've only really made some really simple floor pans, a transmission tunnel that actually bolts to the transmission, and then I made the dash. I have some old Wraith seats, and I've painted all 4 of them the light blue that the Bluga is in the middle. Not like that matters in any way, but it is what it is. And so they're going to sit in here like this. I put them in there. It is a little bit too much light blue, and it needs broken up. So I'm going to try to find some sort of fabric to make a little insert with, and then put that all in there. My wife says this has like a Western Native American kind of vibe to it, so I may try to get some sort of wild cowboy, you know, fabric from Joann's or Michael's or something and put that in there, and then it'll have a little, get out of here, it'll have something to break this up just a little bit. That way it's not so just blue air thing. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that pretty much covers everything as far as my new buggy. If you would, go check out my group and check me out on Instagram, Bullman Built RC, across the board. Check me out on my actual Facebook page, Bullman Built RC. I have a page for the channel. Go follow that and everything. And basically come back for the updates eventually. I plan on doing the interior probably sometime this week, maybe into next week. And this thing should be pretty much done. And I cannot wait to go take it out and run it. And I will show you all of those things as I can, and I hope that you enjoy watching them. I appreciate it if you do watch, and I will see you later. Bye.